G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard, that'll be Blue, that'll be Phoenix, that'll be Lady. Me. So what's going on? Bit of a midweek update for you really, I suppose, more than anything else. Only going to be a very short one. Because it's fucking red as it really is. And it just means that when you do get back from work, you just want to sit down and sweat for a little while, or jump in the shower for half hour on super cold, which has pretty much been the case. What have I been up to then? Well, I went through all that arseache with Blue, only to find the fork seals just pissing, absolutely pissing. Now I did ride it like that for 2 days, as daft as it is. I was keeping an eye on it. I knew exactly how much oil was in there. I had a really good idea how much was coming out. And I was just wiping them off, but they did start to, pseudo spurt, if you like. Fortunately, I mean, today is Wednesday. I had to think then. Today is Wednesday, and I have put in the new fork seals. I didn't bother filming it because, frankly, it's exactly the same again. But there are a couple of differences. One, I did use knock fork seals, so thanks very much. Insert name of subscriber here. I'll put it down the bottom, but thanks mate. I've gone for a better quality, or a known quality, and I have also gone a little bit heavier on the fork oil, and I do remember that was Dan that suggested that, so not a lot. I mean, I had 10 in there before. I've gone for 15 this time, just in a vague attempt to firm them up a little bit. Not that they were overly soft, but for what I'm using it for, i.e. a commute, a little bit more strength, firmness probably, in the front suspension is probably going to be a good thing. Bear in mind, my life is potholes rather than it's track days. So yes, I've gone a little bit heavier. I haven't really road tested it. Obviously, I've bounce tested it, and it's and they've sealed instantly, so considerably better. I have got back to the seller and said, your company is fine, but your product is shit. Words to that effect. And they have come back and said, oh well, send them back. We use the same supplier as blah 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 blah. Now, another bit of top tip, and again, I'll insert YouTube subscriber at the bottom because I'm fucking terrible at names, was to actually use that over the top of the new seal and basically hit onto that rather than onto the new seal, which is an excellent suggestion, and frankly I'm fucking annoyed I didn't do it in the first place. I think I was concerned I was going to get them wedged in, but of course you just extend the leg and it just hoiks that straight out. But it does mean that I've twatted them with the fork device a little bit more. They have said send them back and we'll have a look, but frankly, yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if I can be arsed paying for the postage, frankly. Yeah, whatever, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, be a ride tomorrow, and I'll see how see if I even notice a difference by going up a little bit. I don't know. Hey, are you alright? You just keeping an eye on things. Bless her. Even though she came as a rescue from Cyprus, the heat just wears you down, doesn't it, mate? You get all dozy like a cat. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Blue. By way of a midweek update, and I don't do this, frankly, enough, and that's asking opinions, or I do ask opinions, but by my upload rate and my work rate, I tend to have at least started doing what I'm going to do before I get an answer, which is a bit daft. So this time I'm going for a midweek update for activity on the weekend. Phoenix, I think, and a few of you have commented on it, it's probably a mapping issue. It seems to be the one thing that's left. Now, and again, this is please help, because I don't understand this. I don't really play with fuel injected bikes, apart from the fact both of these are fuel injected, but I don't have any background in it. I think the mapping is controlled by the ECU, and that's the original one over there. So what? I have two ECUs. One that works off the key, through the antenna. You going, dog? Through the antenna and around the key. So therefore it generates that field that the key and I don't have to piss around with the immobiliser. Now I didn't know that it plugs into the dash, and it's essentially just a wire that goes round, as I understand it, goes round the actual key itself, the ignition block, ignition key itself, and then back and in. That's how I think it works. Now the original one didn't have that loop, didn't have that antenna, so it had no way of picking up a signal from the transponder in the key. So I'm thinking, lady, oi, sit. Good girl, stay. Look at that. Dude walking his dog, and she doesn't even go and say hello. How good's that? Hello, mate. Oh, that was cool. The dude was just after dog poo bags because he's fucking caught short. Lady, oi, come on, let's get you back in. Let's get you back in. You've got to say hello to Sam the dog. Come on. Come on. Come on, in you go. Good girl. Yeah, where was I? I can't remember. Yeah, so what I might go for is putting the original ECU back in, putting the original lock set back in, seeing if I can fasten a antenna, fashion an antenna around to see if I can get it to pick up the key, and then try it. If it works, and that means I can run it without using the code like I was the original problem that I was trying to get out of because I didn't understand this whole antenna piece. If I can get it to run, then I'm going to run it and see what happens. Now if it still bogs out, which I'm anticipating it probably will, I don't know, but if it still bogs out, then I don't think it's an ECU issue. I don't think it's a mapping issue, unless both of those ECUs are randomly mapped the same. Then it's something else. What something else is, I haven't got a clue. But it's all about process of elimination, really, isn't it? Let's face it. So if I can get it running without the immobiliser kicking in, which I think was the original reason why it was stopping all the times, because the immobiliser kept cutting it out, and I can see what happens. Right, that's my logic. What do you think, people? Give us a steer. Is my, without trying to play crystal ball, without you trying to anticipate what the end result is. That's not what I'm doing this for. Do you think my logic is sound, or is there something fundamentally wrong with it? I don't know. First real playing with injections. I don't know. But yeah, short update. Blue's cool. Blue's up and running, nice and safe on the forks again. Having ridden it twice on dodgy ones, I promise not to do it again because I started to lose track of how much oil I was leaving. It wasn't bottoming out, it wasn't pissing out. It was just leaking. And frankly, I and others have ridden bikes with leaking forks for longer than that without even noticing. You just, once you notice it, you become incredibly hyper aware, don't you? So yeah, I had a couple of days of riding and wiping after each ride, thinking, no, that's not good. Didn't bottom out, etc., etc. It was fine. Wasn't leaking onto the discs. This, when you got a short commute, it's not that bad. Or sorry, it wasn't leaking that bad. Now sealed again, happy, decent seals, or knock seals. So original, not necessarily OEM, but original quality fork seals. Slightly heavier oil, and a plan with this bad boy. What do you think? Is it a plan, or am I just fucking around? Cheers all. I'll catch you later on. Ta-da.